The ancient saber, more sword-like than any other before it, and unique with its black colour and white hue, is said to have been constructed 1,000 years before the era of Skywalker. Its creator, Tarre Vizsla, of Mandalorian heritage and Force-sensitive. Vizsla was the very first Mandalorian to be inducted into the Jedi Order, hence constructing a unique blade for such a unique occasion. It became the symbol for power and leadership within his clan, House Vizsla, as well as his homeworld of Mandalore.
I challenge you, one warrior to another, and only the strongest shall rule Mandalore.
So uncivilized.
After Vizsla's passing, the blade was kept within the confines of the Jedi Temple. It was later retrieved by members of the House of Vizsla, stealing the weapon and uniting Mandalore, striking down any that stood in their way. During the time of the Clone Wars, the saber found itself in the hands of Tarre Vizsla, governor of Concordia, a moon of Mandalore. Vizsla was also the leader of Death Watch, a Mandalorian splinter group that opposed the new pacifist regulations the so-called warrior race had recently adopted under the leadership of Duchess Satine Kryze. The blade helped Vizsla hold his own in many battles against Force wielders such as Jedi Obi-Wan Kenobi and Ahsoka Tano. He used the weapon during the conquest of Mandalore, whereby he led Death Watch alongside past Sith apprentice Maul and brother Savage Opress. Together, they took over and united various elements of the criminal underworld. Maul led an army attacking the capital city of Zendari, allowing Death Watch to inhabit the roles of the city's rescuers, defeating their attackers and earning the people's respect and trust. Upon this success, Vizsla took over as leader of Mandalore, betraying the Sith, imprisoning them both. It wasn't long before the Sith tyrants broke loose, with Maul challenging Vizsla to a duel. Whilst putting up a good fight, he was ultimately no match for the Zabrak warrior. Maul took the saber, claiming leadership over Death Watch and Mandalore, executing the former title holder. He installed a puppet prime minister, ensuring his presence was unknown to the Jedi and his former master. Sister to Duchess Satine and Death Watch member Bo-Katan was a Vizsla loyalist. Amongst other members, she refused to bow to Maul, splitting from the group with the Mandalorian Civil War beginning. It was a group of Death Watch members that found and saved foundling Din Djarin from Trade Federation battle droids, teaching him the ways of the clan and the children of the way of the Watch. During the Civil War, Maul's presence had been too big of a threat to ignore, with his former master Darth Sidious paying him a visit. His brother was toyed with before being struck down. While showing great skill, Maul himself was captured and tortured. Maul was freed by Mandalorian traditionalists, with Dooku getting captured along the way. Dooku was taken to Dathomir so that Mother Talzin, leader of the Night Brothers and Sisters, could take a physical form once more. Sidious and Grievous travelled to Dathomir, with Talzin sacrificing herself so that Maul could escape. He returned to Mandalore with the saber, but was eventually arrested by Ahsoka Tano after an assault by the Death Watch and Bo-Katan. During Order 66, he was freed once more. Ahsoka had done this to create a distraction on board the ship, giving her time to escape along with Captain Rex. Maul managed to escape the turned clone troopers, heading back to Dathomir, storing the saber there as he slowly in the shadows rebuilt his criminal empire, named Crimson Dawn. Check out this timeline and recap video of Boba Fett, or perhaps you want to know the story of the unmade Amazing Spider-Man 3. If not, check out my reaction to Star Wars Clone Wars Volume 1 for the first time. Many years later, during the time of the Empire, a female Mandalorian rebel, Sabine Wren, was possessed by a Night Sister spirit. Jedi Padawan Ezra Bridger destroyed the altar in which the spirit had come from, freeing his friend. He used the stolen Darksaber found in the Night Sister's lair. Sabine recognized the blade and its importance to her people, taking it from the once Sith apprentice and giving it to Jedi Knight Kanan Jarrus for safekeeping. Kanan questioned Fen Rao, a Mandalorian protector, who revealed the blade's history to the Jedi. Sabine was convinced to use the weapon to unite the House of Vizsla and join the Rebel Alliance, going under the tutelage of Kanan and Ezra, learning how to wield a blade of such power. She led her friends to the home of the House of Wren, wanting to convince her family to join the fight against the Empire. However, they did not view Sabine as the rightful holder of the saber, as she had not bested Maul in a duel to gain the right to hold such status. Ex-member of Maul's Shadow Collective and Viceroy and Governor of Mandalore Gar Saxon made a deal with Sabine's mother, Ursa Wren. Her daughter would be safe if she gave up the Darksaber and her rebel friends. He was eventually killed in combat, falling to Sabine but killed by her mother. She decided to stay with her clan to find a new successor and rightful leader of Mandalore. Later on, Sabine found herself in a mission upon her homeworld of Mandalore. She saved her father and destroyed a super weapon she had helped create. After said mission, she offered the Darksaber to Bo-Katan, who had rejected the offer once before. With the support of other clans, this time she accepted and took the Darksaber. With the Empire realizing that Mandalore could not be controlled, they decided to begin what has been called the Great Purge, a near total genocide of all Mandalorians. Bo-Katan attempted to fight back but fled when she deemed the oncoming fleet unstoppable, with very few others managing to escape, staying hidden across the galaxy. Assumedly during this war, Katan lost the saber to Moff Gideon. With the Empire coming to an end years later and the remnants scattered across the galaxy, Gideon faked his execution for war crimes, continuing as a large role in the hidden but reforming Empire. He became interested in an asset. This asset was a Force-sensitive child, Grogu, who somehow managed to escape the Jedi Purge. Now a grown-up Mandalorian bounty hunter, Din Djarin acquired this asset, growing fond of the child, rescuing it from the Empire. Gideon attempted to recapture the child but was thwarted. Djarin was tasked by the remains of his clan to find other Mandalorians and take the child back to his people, the Jedi. He eventually stumbles into Bo-Katan upon the planet Trask. She recruited him to help her find out information on the whereabouts of the Darksaber, but was unsuccessful. Following a skirmish on Tython, Grogu was captured by Gideon, who taunted the foundling with the blade. Desperate to get him back, Mando recruited Bo-Katan and others to help him, promising the Darksaber to her if successful. After a successful infiltration of his cruiser, Djarin defeated Gideon in a duel, wresting the saber from him. Gideon laughed as once more the ancient weapon was offered to Katan. Remembering her history with it and wanting to follow tradition to secure her place as Mandalore's rightful leader, she refused, explaining it must be won in battle. With Jedi Luke Skywalker arriving to rescue the group from Gideon's Dark Troopers and retrieve Grogu, teaching him the ways of the Force, Djarin kept the saber. He used it to help with his bounty hunter activities, finding out where the remnants of his clan was hidden. The armorer explains the history behind the blade and Bo-Katan's failure to follow its rules, briefly teaching him how to wield such a weapon. After training, he was challenged by Tarre Vizsla, who viewed the weapon as his birthright. Mando was victorious, but was ostracized from the clan when the armorer discovered he had removed his helmet during his mission with Grogu.